first car on the internet. Marty, we would love to hear the story.
Well, let's see, back in 1994, early 94, we started a website called the Virtual Showroom, which morphed into DealerNet later on, and it was a 1995 Volvo 850 GL-T.
Brand new?
And it was teal. It was teal green. I remember that. But that was the first picture of a car on the internet. And we, from there, added other car dealers to it, and DealerNet grew and ultimately got bought by Reynolds and Reynolds Corporation.
So I'm going to go back in time just a little bit and say where we are. We're in Seattle, Washington, and if you're in Seattle, of course, you have to be at a Starbucks. So, and that's where you, just tell me real quick how you got into the car business.
Well, my dad worked for DeSoto Chrysler Distributors back after World War II, and then when Buick became franchised in 1953, that entity became a Buick franchise, and we had Opel, and we were the first Toyota dealers in the country, believe it or not. In 1957, it was a terrible car, and we got rid of it 2 years later because GM didn't like us selling Japanese cars. So a little funny family story there, but so that was our deal, and then we sold that dealership in 1984. Later that year, I bought a Nissan Volvo dealership up in Linwood, and while I was there, we started DealerNet.
So then the one quick question I have to ask you then, Marty, is how and where did you learn about the internet, or how did that come into being as a dealer?
Well, it was the University of Washington. It was a faculty seminar on a Saturday, and I ran into a guy from a company called Spry, S-P-R-Y, in downtown Seattle, and they were developing the product called Internet in a Box that basically enabled a lot of the initial people to connect to the internet in the early days.
And again, it was just something brand new, and you're a car dealer, but you're still looking for other ways to sell cars? Or, I mean, what drove you to it?
Well, obviously, you look inward first and say, how is this going to help me as a car dealer? And so we developed a web page for our car dealership, what we used to call home pages before they were called websites. And we developed that for our car dealership, and we had email capabilities, and we sold parts and what have you, people all over the world, including, I remember I sold a water pump to a Nissan Pathfinder in Iceland once, so that was kind of a big thrill for us. But we realized the reach of the internet early on, and then quickly expanded from there and to include all the other 45 franchises.
Well, Marty, it's a thrill to talk to you. We're going to spend some time talking about where the internet's going and what the best practices and thought ideas are for selling cars in a digital marketplace. And we really appreciate your time, and we're going to spend some more time later on getting the real history on that. Marty Rood, thanks.
You bet. Thank you, Charlie.